Hello, everyone. Today I'm reviewing something very different from what I had previously. This is a comic from, I believe, 1994, called The Holy Knight, from Pocket Change Comics. I'm not sure if that company still exists. Let's see. From creator Bob Dixon. As you can see, it's in black and white, and that's because I think it's considered quite graphic. I mean, not so much in this first issue, but I assume it gets more graphic later on. I think there are only 2 issues total. Though, back in the 90s, the comic book industry it crashed hard. And if you weren't Marvel and DC were hurting bad. DC had to resort to killing off Superman for publicity. Marvel was almost bankrupt. They actually teamed up to make a lot of crossovers in the 90s, just to try and stay alive. So you can imagine how badly anyone who wasn't with Marvel or DC was hurting. Like this. I've read this issue. It's okay. I think it's more of a... the whole thing is one big beginning. It's more of an origin story, not just of one Holy Knight, but 2 characters who are called the Holy Knight, and we'll get into that in just a moment. So this is I thought it would be our main character. He's the main character for this issue, but I think he will serve more as the mentor type, like an Obi-Wan Kenobi, as the series continued. So he's a crusader, and he's in a place called Limbo. And he goes on about his origin story. Now, during the Crusades, this archdemon showed up, named, just a second. Yeah. It's that. Mithril. A demon named Mithril shows up. It says when he showed up, the inferno was so hot, it melted the mountain snow and ice into a raging river. He started destroying cities and all that, so this crusader was sent to go fight him. He lost pretty badly. But as he was about to die, he was given this magical sword from destiny, I guess, which transformed him into the Holy Knight, the medieval superhero type guy, who went and fought Mithril again. The art in this is pretty decent. I mean, the splash page from the beginning is definitely the best piece of art in this comic. You know, but the rest is decent. And he goes and he fights him again and again and again. He fights him in the demon realm again and again and again until Mithril makes a deal with his prince. Prince gives him his secret identity, which he uses to attack both the Holy Knight and those around him. Secret identity is Brian Gillian. And he has this wizard lady friend named Urak. And she's like, it's been 700 years, dude. You gotta get out of here. Do something. And he's like, I can't. He's like, look, you gotta give the sword to someone else who's worthy of it. And, well, maybe we can find a way to win. Possibly. It's worth a shot. So we cut back to modern day England, and it's an excavation, right? And from, I guess, a bunch of American students, I guess college students, are excavating, and the professor's like, I studied and found rumors of the sword. I don't know if it's real or not, but I must have that sword. So, yeah, him and Professor Stewart, he's been looking for the sword his entire life, and this is his chance. Right? And then they find it. They go into a cave, just him and the student named Michael. And Professor Stewart is like, there it is, the Redeemer. And then, like, the ghost of Brian Gillian shows up, and he's like, are you worthy? He's like, worthy or not, I'll have it. And he's like, oh yeah? And, so much for Professor Stewart. And he's like, are you worthy? And he's like, I don't want any trouble, mister. And he's like, you're not a warrior, but you're also not grabbing at this sword for its power. You're probably not worthy, but I'm gonna test this by stabbing you. And so he did. And, turns out the dude's kinda worthy, so he survives. But he's not a warrior, and they're running out of time before Mithril returns. And so it's up to Brian Gillian to train Michael to become the new Holy Knight to protect the world from the demon Mithril. And it ends with him envisioning what he would look like. And that's pretty much it. The whole comic is one big beginning. It has decent art. One thing I liked about it was actually Brian Gillian's character. Don't get me wrong, it's not the most fleshed out, best character in a comic book. But I did like how it keeps with the whole holy warrior, He-Man, Conan type action hero trope, right? In a lot of ways. But what surprises me is how it goes against some of the mainstays of that trope in certain ways. Like, in order to have an epic hero, that's what it's called, like Beowulf, Hercules, King Arthur, in order to have an epic hero, they need to have as little humanity as possible. They need to be perfect people. That's actually one of the requirements for the genre. It's not even a technique thing. That is a requirement for the genre to truly be part of that genre. Which is why Beowulf is kind of in a weird gray area. Because although he seems rather, plain-ish in character to us nowadays, with the stories we're used to, back then, when it was prominent, Beowulf broke. He shattered. He destroyed the current tropes with how human he was. But I digress. Brian Gillian, he through his dialogue, you can really tell he has a lot of self-doubt issues, which is not typical of epic heroes, or even a lot of these comic book heroes. Of course, unless you count, like, okay, you go Spider-Man and guys like that have a lot of self-doubt. But they're the exception, not the rule. Even everything about Spider-Man is not... He's not Superman-ish. He's not hugely muscular. He's not considered his world's symbol of peace or symbol of good. He's just one of the guys who's there. Anyone who's a symbol, like Captain America or Superman, they need to be more. They're huge, and they are stoic, and they embody what they represent. This guy is huge, but he's not so stoic. It's, overall, I recommend giving it a chance. It's not the best, but it's not that bad. I say not that bad. Growing up, people said, that's not that bad, to refer to it actually being kinda good. In the same way, it's fine, or it's alright, is commonly used in a negative way. I never really got that, because it kind of goes against the words you're actually saying. I guess it's sarcasm, but a lot of people say it unsarcastically. Yet still... Whatever, I digress. So yeah, it's, give it a chance if you don't like it. It is kind of a niche thing, but, who knows. I also ate some of this jerky. Terrible Tuesday, it is ghost pepper jerky, so I tried a few bites before I remembered. This has been opened for a long time, and it is really old. I probably shouldn't have eaten the 2 pieces I did. So here's hoping I don't get a tapeworm or something. See you guys later.